You're listening to It Came From the Radio. And you know this is Dr. Felty, and I'm here with a man that I've been actually following for about 8 years. Has it been 8 years or 10 years? It's no Jacob the Lifetarian. He is the founder and creator of Lifetarianism, Plant Parenthood. He got a one-man show called Call of the Wild. You can find him at lifetarian.com. That's www.lifetarian.com. His guidebook's available on Amazon. I have a copy. He's got a 24-hour support hotline and numerous success stories. Welcome to It Came From the Radio, Jacob Lifetarian.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, I've been a big fan for years, and I just wanted to get you on the line and maybe pick your brain, as they say. So, Lifetarianism, you created is it like a religion? It's like a way of life, would you call it?
That's correct, Jennifer. So it's actually a lifestyle that can be a religion. It's more than just a diet, that's for dang sure. So it encompasses every part of your life, your love life, your diet, your spirituality, and the clothing you wear.
I saw that Lifetarians only procreate not for sport, but
Correct.
they procreate only to have more Lifetarian children.
That's correct, doctor. So a lot of these ruffian meatheads get too much of the wrong testosterone. You know how there's good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. Well,
Right.
there's also good testosterone and bad testosterone, okay? So the Lifetarian diet allows you to actually have all the good and best testosterone. And I'm a prime example for that. So when you have too much of the bad testosterone, your loins are working on overload, and you can see this with a lot of people in these Epstein files that are coming out. They all have the wrong testosterone because they're spreading their seed in all the wrong ways possible.
Correct.
Criminally horny is what I call it.
What do you think about all these dating apps? We got Hinge and Tinder, and we got the OnlyFans and Facebook dating now, and they're encouraging all this mating and dating. What do you think about this? Do you think that America's oversexed, underloved, perhaps?
Precisely, doctor. So the reason why I call it criminally horny is because the Lifetarian creed is never eat or kill anything that was ever alive. So no meats and no plants, especially. And that also counts for sperm cells, which we know are living beings. So these people that are oversexing, they're killing their seed. They're aborting. They're having 1,000,000 abortions per squirt. Okay. So that's why Lifetarians are against that. It's a genocide, to be quite frank.
Now, I'm familiar with the diet, so these questions really are more for the listeners than for myself. You have no meat, and you're also against plant eaters. So, what does a lifetarian eat?
Yes, so Lifetarians eat water, dairy, eggs, and dirt because dirt actually has the most minerals out of anything. Everyone says they need fruits and veggies. Well, where do you think fruits and veggies get their vitamins and minerals from? The dirt.
Right. Just go right to the
So,
source.
right. So we cut out the middleman without murdering the living plant, and we eat straight from the dirt. And African tribes have been doing this for centuries. This is not something I just created in my mom's basement. Okay, this was created in Africa's basement. We all come from
Now,
Africa.
I know you're against murder and you're against meat, but let's say someone's on death row and perhaps more than 50% would agree that the person deserves not to be here. Maybe they've done a lot of bad things in their life. Would you be okay with someone eating their meat? Maybe they're on death row instead of just, disposing the body willy-nilly in the ocean like we do sometimes. Maybe, maybe serve it for Thanksgiving instead of an innocent turkey. Why do we serve a criminal?
So you're talking about cannibalism, is that correct?
I guess. Yes. Yes. I did not connect the dots there. I wasn't connecting dots.
Right. Yes. Well, it's important to always connect the dots, and I'll connect them for you. So this comes back to like the perversion of like Hollywood and celebrities. Army Hammer, remember this celebrity who was a
I
cannibal?
actually met him. I met him with Julia Roberts
Right.
years ago when I was a
Oh,
child.
really? Well, you're lucky
Hmm.
he didn't feast upon you in this same lifeboat scenario that you're creating. So if you connected the dots, you would know that Army Hammer is actually a threat to your life and to humanity. And Lifetarians don't believe in the lifeboat scenario where to save a life you could kill a life. If one's going to die either way, then let nature do what it will.
I agree with that. Now, I was actually reviewing, 'cause I remember about 9 years ago, you had a hotline and you were going live and you were talking to your fans and you had a
Hmm.
nice little fan base. So I was reviewing this for the first time since, what is it, 2014, 2015. I was really impressed with you and I thought it was really kind of you to have this 24-hour hotline. How do you have a 24-hour hotline? Don't you need to sleep? Do Lefterians not need sleep?
Well, that's the thing. It's the actual optimal diet. So we don't need as much sleep as everyone else. When everyone else is in a drunken stupor, they need more sleep, or they ate an entire cow for breakfast, so their body's pouring a lot of acid and making them lethargic. Or to go back to this sex crazed scenario, all these people are all humped out, and they're all spermed out, and they're losing all their liquids. So they need to replenish, and they need more sleep. Whereas the Lifetarian diet, we have the optimal amount of sleep, which is only about an hour or two a day, because we actually have all the vitamins and minerals that we require already in our bodies, and we don't need much
Right.
reparation.
Now, this 24-hour hotline, why don't you tell our listeners about a success story? It is Merry Christmas season, it is a holiday season. How about a heartwarming success story?
Yeah, so the vegan hotline I had, it's not active right now because I've actually been a recluse for the past 6 years or so. I've been deep in the jungles, and I can't quite reveal what my imminent return will be. This is my first public appearance in several years, but I've been away from technology. I used to be huge on social media, but I've been disconnected from it all. So I've been very deep in the jungles, and my vegan recovery hotline has been on pause. But the function it used to serve was 24 hours a day, a vegan or a meat eater can call in to my hotline, and I personally speak of them. It's basically like a crisis hotline where I talk a vegan off the cliff if he's about to have a salad or something of the sort.
Now, nowadays they're saying that most of the soil in America it has full of glyphosate thanks to Monsanto. Uh, if the soil is all polluted, what can we do? What can we eat as lactarians? Eggs. I had an egg before the show. I had water before the show, in dedication to you. But soil, I did not have. I'm afraid to go outside. The rainwater's toxic. I don't even know what's safe to eat anymore.
Right. Well, so the dirt has been suffering. That is true. It's basically become a Cosby concoction that you would serve to a floozy at the bar, because it'll knock you out immediately because it's actually has been Monsanto GMOs crippling it. That's why one of the reasons why I went so deep into the jungles, where big pharma and big agriculture has not quite sullied the soil yet. So I was kind of replenishing my own system and finding the best sources of the cleanest and most pure dirt in the jungles of Africa.
Well, it must be working because I see you grow a beard, and even on that hotline, you were saying how you couldn't grow a beard, you couldn't grow facial hair, and now I don't know, maybe there's something in the soil that's made you just spurt hair.
Yes, well, again, I was completely disconnected from technology, and I think what I realized was having the soil in America was actually hindering my health in some ways and clogging my system. That's why you see the pussification of a lot of men in the world now, where they're all homosexual. That's not nature. Anyone who's a homosexual is not a lifetarian because anti-nature created that. Same with autism and retardation. and all these things. They're 0% similar to how you see it in Amish. Amish we don't like either because they also kill plants, but similar to how Amish doesn't have some diseases, Lifetarians have zero diseases. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's why I had to replenish and find better soil to deliver to the states out in the jungles where I am currently.
Well, sign me up. I'd love to buy some of this soil once it's for sale. I'm so honored that you're breaking your social media cherry after 6 years. We've missed you. We've wondered where you've been. I was an avid follower and I've totally fallen out. I had some salmon today. I've already eaten one dead animal and who knows what's going to happen tonight.
Well, I'm not quite surprised because doctors actually are some of the biggest dummies out there. So doctors prescribe the wrong medications, the wrong treatments. They buy into the food pyramid, and so the fact that you're a doctor in flood, it comes as no surprise.
Well, I actually quit dentistry since when
Uh,
you were in the jungle. I only do Botox and lip injections. I'm done with dentistry. I'm done with any anesthetics. There's no anesthetics involved. We have real fat that we're injected. Sometimes I'll take my own fat, inject it to the lady's face. I had a male client too. He wanted some full lips. So everything's changed. I agree with you. Food pyramid was just a sham, just a shell. Sell cereal, perhaps or Kellogg's. It's all a sham. I'm actually ready to leave the medical facility, which is why I've been co-hosting this radio show since 2020,
mm.
because I don't believe in the medical system anymore. I really lost all my faith, and I think we need to talk about it, which is why I'm glad to have you on the line today. Now, Lifetarianism, it calls for no meat and no plants. And you say that vegans are murderers of innocent plants, which I guess I can agree. I have a level of guilt in my system, and I have not committed adultery. I have not sinned. So I thought, but I have this guilt. So maybe it's due to the plants. Eh, Do you ever get lonely? Because you can't really associate with meat eaters or plant eaters. And you also said that you're against bands. So what's your issue with the musical bands?
Oh, music. Well, the music industry I'm against because uh, they typically play at bars, these drunken buffoon saloons, and there's drinking, there's drugs, and all those things are, first of all, plant-based, and then second of all, lead to more numbskull behavior where they're fighting each other, they're killing, they're ingesting fast food burgers and Taco Bells at 3 a.m. So it's really just the music industry is it just leads to more destruction and death.
Yeah, I can agree to that. Well, maybe Christian music. I did go to a Christmas musical at a Christian Scientist church, and but you know what? There was no band. There was only one violin being played, and there was two people singing. And I didn't see any type of alcohol. I saw a lot of sugar being consumed, though.
Well, the
Sugar's no
violin's
good.
also made from the torso of a tree.
Ah, right. All right. So I actually just bought some drums. So would drums be okay? Can I play the drums? That would be okay, right? No guitars.
Well, it depends. A lot of drum heads are made from cow skin and different hides of that nature.
Or
But
synthetic.
if you're really dying to drum, you can just drum on a few stones or um, things like that. So there's really
Or
no
dog.
need on a dog.
Yeah, I actually have a dog, and then sometimes her belly makes some reverberation sounds. I'll just lightly tap on her belly. It kind of is like drumming, and it'll have this echo to it.
Well, as
So
long
so,
as
so
you're not
maybe
harming the dog.
no, she loves. She seems to really like it. She seems to be smiling and seems to be enjoying it, and it creates nice music for the people within about a few feet. It's not really loud. You have to sit within a few feet, so it would be tough for an audience. We'd have to get some amps and some speakers, but hopefully, perhaps a dog drum could work. I only have one that'll let me do it, but maybe I can clone her.
Sure. Yeah. Well, as long as it's not harming, and if it's a playful act, then like a massage of some sort, I could see that.
But like a percussion massage. If you ever went to massage school, which I did, there's something called the percussion technique.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay, so
dogs
that
seem to
might
like that
work.
too.
Right.
Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely. Now, Baxar, I kind of got to kill carried away here. Now, do you feel isolated? Because you can't be near plant eaters, meat eaters, or band players. You ever get lonely?
No, because nature really, we all come from nature. So being in nature is being like in a stadium for me. And I used to do a lot of man on the street interviews, so I was still amongst a lot of the hedonists out there. So I'm still amongst the humanity. Just I prefer to not be near the psychopaths.
Psychopath, and you definitely don't want to get in the entertainment industry. I mean, I
That's
can connect the dots for you, but there's a lot going on in that.
right. Yeah. Not what I do isn't entertainment. This is a necessity. Like people weren't saying that Jesus was in the entertainment industry. He was doing preaching what he thought was the right thing, and I'm preaching what I know is the right thing.
I believe that. No, I've been a follower for years, and I wish you all the best. We're actually getting to the end of the interview now. I'd like to go back to the Trump rally you went to 9 years ago, and there's a lot of people. They're going to these No Kings rally. They got all these problems, but I never see anyone talk about the issue that you had. And your main issue with Trump was that he was selling steak. Is that right?
Right. So Trump, yeah, this was before he was initially elected. So I was way ahead of my time. I
Right.
spearheaded the anti-Trump movement. Everyone else are just hangers on, posers, really, focusing on all the wrong issues. But yes, Trump used to have Trump steaks, and that was my biggest beef with Trump because he was murdering millions of cows to
Mm.
satiate these gluttons on Wall Street.
But now I think I don't know if we're gonna have cow farms being shut down in America. I don't really know how they're gonna persist because now I think he's bringing in a lot of steaks and meat from Argentina. So if we have all the meat coming in from Argentina, perhaps we're not gonna have these meat farms in America anymore. I mean, how much meat do we need? So maybe he's joining the Lifetarian and he's keeping the Argentinians as war. Maybe it's a war tactic to keep them sinning and keep them in the meat industry and get America out of the meat industry and onto lifetarianism. Perhaps Trump is trying to ease into lifetarianism, perhaps.
Yeah, well, I don't believe in half measures. I don't believe in easing in. Just do it if you're going to do it. Otherwise, he's a coward, and I know he's a coward because I went to his rally and they wouldn't let me in because they knew I was the biggest threat to their campaign. So I have no respect for
Wow.
Trump, and if he's easing into it, then he's easing into cowardice.
Now, it's been maybe 6 or 7 years since we've spoken. How's your love life? What's your love life going on in the leftarian world? Do you have a special lady or a special they in your life?
No, not quite yet. And as we touched on earlier, lifetarians only procreate only have sex to procreate. So we're only doing it to have children, and I'm not ready to have children because I'm still too. I'm not at the end of my journey yet to feel like I could bring another child into this world. But trust me, I'm definitely virile enough to do so. But I'm just choosing not to yet.
Now, I actually just interviewed a Mormon, Christian Hurst. So this will be my last question. And he was a Mormon. I don't know if he still follows the Mormon religion, but they believe in having multiple wives. And I've actually been thinking in about 15 years when I'm 56, I think is the perfect time to settle down. Uh, I think that it would be nice to maybe not have a legal husband, but perhaps if not one legal husband, because one legal husband won't work, but if you have seven legal husbands, the only reason to really have a wife or husband is to get free labor. You have a wife, she cooks, she cleans, she gets out her needs, she does whatever you need. So if I have seven husbands, I got an audio guy, I got a sound guy, I'll leave the medical world entirely. You know how corrupt it is. We'll get into this entertainment world. I'll only hire people like you I can trust. We'll have a cameraman. Maybe you could recommend a cameraman. Well, we're going to have a masseuse on staff, also a male masseuse. I prefer that. And they'll all be unpaid because they'll all be my husband. So what do you think of, the idea of marriage, and maybe the idea of having multiple wives or husbands?
So yeah, lifetarians don't really believe in legal marriage. We like to treat it like the animal kingdom, where you could have as many partners to procreate with, but not to just willy nilly have sex with. So to us, that's fine because we don't really believe in those marriage type binds, those types of laws. But we do believe in the laws of nature, as long as it doesn't involve killing and murdering.
Right. Well, you know what, Jacob? It's lovely to have you on the show. I wish we had more time. Any final thoughts or where our viewers and listeners can find you? Anything you want to say that's on your mind, heavy on your heart today?
Well, I do have a book on Amazon. It's called Life of a Lifetarian, uh, which I wrote several years ago. So that is available. You can learn all the ins and outs of Lifetarianism, my origin story, and that's available. But I will be making a public return at some point. But this is just a teaser, if you will.
I feel teased. That's a perfect name for this episode. And you know what I'd like to say, everyone? Make sure you floss your teeth because you don't want to lose your teeth. You only got one set of teeth. You only got one mind. You want to take care of it. You want to take care of your friends and each other. R.I.P. Jerry Springer. And with that, I'm going to throw it back to Mark Torres for more. It came from the radio back in studio.